So now we need to construct a nut. Now we have this bolt going through. So it's the same procedure, M32, that's what we are using. So I've already measured my 16 millimeter radius. So this is where I'm going to construct my circle. That's my circle. Now, because it's a two-phase, then it will work differently. Let me place my T-square on the top side. Because remember, now that we're dealing with a two-phase, it means the vertical line is what needs to be drawn as a tangent, and I do the same thing on the right hand side, tangent, construction lines still. Then that's where then I draw my 30-degree line. So this becomes a tangent using a 30-degree angle. Tangent. Right, so this tangent must be drawn dark. That's my tangent. It's drawn dark. Then turn over, do the same thing on the right hand side. Tangent. Alright, now we have that part, so we can now surely say that the bottom part, we know what needs to be done. So I'm going to do the right hand side. That's my tangent, dark. The right hand side, 30 degrees a square, tangent, and that must be drawn dark. Then these two vertical lines are now drawn dark. Construction, or we call it an auxiliary view for your nut. So this here carries marks, and a lot of marks. Now, all we need now is to project going to that position. Why do we say this is two-phase? This area here is 1 and this area is 2. That's how we call it two-phase. Whereas on our bolt, this area it's 1, that part is 2, and that part is 3. So that's why we say 3 phases. So 1, 2, 3. All right. Now let us complete all the necessary things that we need to complete from here. So what we will do then is project to the first plate, metal plate, and project. Now remember our measurements as to on when we drawing the thickness of the nut. This is our nut. The thickness of the nut, or the height of the nut from that position coming down, must be 26 millimeters. Right. So that's what I wanted to show you, that this is now 26, whereas the bolt head was 22, but now we have 26. So it shows that the bolt head is slightly smaller compared to the height of your nut. Therefore, we shall measure 26 from there to there. We're getting 26. Now we have 26. Then we have to draw a light line across. We have to draw a light line across. That's our light line. And then this part here, because that's where the bolt, or rather the nut is sitting, then we draw a dark line. Now we close that part. Now what we need to do is complete this bolt by saying it starts here at 26, draw that dark. Now this corner here, remember there was a center line here, then it becomes dark. There's no more center line in that part, because this corner here is taken by the center, is taking the center line and having it dark. So this end here is also drawn dark. And with the two-phase, the end does not show chamfer, so we draw this line dark. Now we have that line dark, so So all we need to do now is to get our arcs over there. And how do we do that, or how did we do that? We still use the same method. You're going to use a 60-degree set square. So 60 from, let's call this corner 1, let's call that corner 2, let's call that corner 3. So we have 3 corners. All right, remember there on top we had 4 corners, or on the bolt 1, 2, 3, 4. But here we have 1, 2, 3. So we're going to use 2 times, face 1, face 2. So let's start with 1. 1 and 2, same direction. Right, then flip over your set square. Let's go back to 3. That's where they intersect. Let's go to 2. That's where they intersect. So we've got 2 points, 1, 2. That's why it's going to be known as a two-face. So now, all you need to do now is to place your compass at that position. Open it so that it becomes a tangent. So what was done here is place your compass at the intersection of these 2 constructions. Then from that position, draw an arc, dark. Move it to the next one, place it at the correct intersection, then draw another arc. Then it becomes dark. All right, so please note, we don't hatch or section the nut. That is why you'll find that we don't see the bolt threads in this area, but we can see there, and we don't see there. And it shows off here. So it means whenever you placing your nut, you need to remember that it only shows right at the end on the outside part. It shows here on the outside, but we cannot see there where the nut is. And that's how we draw that. Right. One more last thing missing here is, because we need that part here of the M32, which we said is threads. Now, because it's the nut that we are constructing, it is the outside part that, or the outside circle that does not meet, where you draw and you leave a gap. As you notice here, I left a gap here. That's the one which we do not close. Why? Because it is the nut. And then what do you notice? The bolt is the inside one which we make the circle not meet. Like we said with the nut, this rather with the bolt on top, because now we're drawing the nut, this is diameter 32, which makes it radius 16. Therefore, what we're going to do now, we're going to say 32 minus 2 gives us 30. Therefore, the radius here is 15. Then this is why this inside circle must be drawn 15 millimeter radius. And this is now closed. Make sure that here you draw the full circle. The full circle. And now you have your auxiliary view of your. Now, because it speaks about full hatching, I will quickly show you how to hatch. Now, I'm using this distance here on my ruler. Please note there are lines there showing 1 millimeter each. So I'm using the distance of that to make sure that it is even from the edge of my set square to the end of the line, to make sure that the spacing is even. So I will place it at the corner. So I draw the first line dark, then I move on the next line, then to draw the next line, then I place it along that line again, then the next one. Then I repeat this until my hatching on this part here is complete. Until it's complete. If you look at the hatching there, it is even, because like I said, I've used that. Now, this part and that part will be hatched the same way. but the one on top will be hatched differently. Because I have measured this correctly, now I need to rotate, and using the same lines, I'm going to hatch in a different direction. Why different direction? Because this is another item. This is another item, or this is another part. Now mind you, I'm joining these lines, or I'm connecting from the bottom part. So that's what it will look like until I complete everything. Thank you. So this is my complete drawing, and this is what was expected from you to do in terms of putting these two plates together and then drawing the bolt and the nut.